You kidding me? I'm out in the, oh man, I'm out in the woods. You gotta be kidding me. Oh. Yeah, so I've been having a lot of problems lately, and this is gonna be another one of them right here potentially. Let's see what has happened here. If something stops working right now, puppies, there are so many things that it could be that, like, it's just unbelievable that we're even still rolling along here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're just out cruising on the 48 volt BBSHD, and it's geared pretty low. We're using the Flipski controller, Flipski 75100 Pro V2. I have the 72 volt battery in my backpack and a 52 volt battery, but for now we're just using this one, this triangle battery. So the gearing on my bike right here, this is like a really low geared BBSHD. The chainring's 46 teeth and my rear sprocket is 42 teeth. And I have 29er mountain bike wheels. So with this gearing and this wheel diameter on 48 volts, doing 30 amps, stock power, stock amps, I can get going about 20 miles an hour. And we're cruising like this because I'm just using the 48 volt battery. So this is a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get 20 amp hours out of it. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how far we get, really, because I've been having a lot of issues lately. I have not been out mountain biking for a while. And I am just jonesing like you would not believe. I am jonesing to get out there. And this is the Hail Mary attempt right here. It's like one of the last days where it's probably going to be, I think it was like 80 degrees. And it's October like 20th or something. So this is one of, and I'm in the Great Lakes. Up by very close to Canada, up in Wisconsin, not that close to Canada, but in Wisconsin, central Wisconsin. So it's not usually this warm in the middle of October. And so what happened is, first I got hurt. So I was out mountain biking and I crashed. And I hurt kind of like my upper arm, like where it connects to your shoulder, some kind of muscle, I don't know. But it's like whatever muscle is in your upper arm kind of going up your shoulder that helps you like go like this, like reach forward and reach upwards and overhead and stuff. And so I hurt myself. I think I hurt myself by like landing like that. It was actually my left side, but I'm just demonstrating on this side. So I fell down and like my arm went like boom, like that, and then I pulled something or strained a muscle or something in my upper arm, or like going up into my shoulder. Maybe it is my shoulder, I don't know. Feels like some kind of a muscle. Thankfully, it's just a muscle that is just used for like certain movements. And so it wasn't too bad. It was a bad strain, like it was really bad. But I kind of figured out which movements I could kind of avoid to avoid using that muscle, so we're doing better. I think I can go mountain biking. I'm probably not going to go crazy out there. Like, I just want to go out there. That's all I want to do, is just go out there and see what's going on. And we've got awkward cars behind me that are like making me question, like, just go by, dude, come on. Awkward cars driving behind me that are like, it's like, just go, dude, just go. And so I also had a problem where, and I will show you the bike, but like I want to, like, we need to go straight there. I want to go mountain biking. I will show you the bike at some point. But I mean, I had to completely repair the phase wires on my BBSHD because one of them melted. Alright guys, so if you're going to upgrade your Bafang BBSHD mid-drive to a better controller, higher power levels, higher voltage, you might not want to use these little spade crimp connectors that come on the motor phase wires. Seems like this one was getting a little bit toasty. In there. See that one? So I'm gonna have to cut those things off. Figure out something else. I think we need some thicker wires for the BBSHD. Look at this. This wire used to be like that wire. Oh my god. And I think it was a crimp, because the BBSHD, the motor core, it uses these like spade, you know, crimped connectors. And when I made my wiring harness that connects my controller to the BBSHD, and I crimped on my Amazon.com Chinese, made in China crimp connectors with my Amazon.com crimper. I don't know, I guess I got a bad crimp on one of my phase wires, on my wiring harness where it connects to the phase wires of the motor core. And so I think the wire was like jiggling around, and it actually, like, it worked this whole year. Like, I don't know, I think it was like a slow burn kind of problem, but it worked for a long time and then it didn't, and it was really weird. But I think I lucked out in such a way where it didn't damage the motor. I don't think. And so we're just going on this battery. We're going kind of slow. Look, but I figured I would turn on the camera while I'm still in good spirits, because I don't even want to say it. But you know, like, I redid my whole bike. So this is going to be, like, I don't know, I don't even want to say it. This is the Hail Mary. Probably one of the last chances to get out mountain biking when it's still nice out. I'm in shorts, and we're out riding a bike. My front brake rotor is making a noise, I guess, but we're just going to have to live with that today. Hopefully I can noise cancel that out. It's probably a lot more audible on the road, and then if I do get to the mountain biking place, into the woods, and we're going slower, I don't think it should be as annoying. But yeah, I thought I would turn the camera on just in case, and we'd have something that I could upload as a video where I'm still in good spirits and not extremely bummed out. Man, it's like when I hit the front brake I can't hear it, but then when I let go of the front brake I can hear it. Like the rotor is bent or something. I think it's actually a lateral deviation in my wheel is what is causing the brake rotor to scrape. And so something funny I noticed, and I don't know if I didn't put the motor back together right. Like, there's only like if you put the BBSHD back together wrong, I feel like it would just be weird, like something. But there's like in my axle, there's like some play in my axle in the BBSHD, so I didn't realize that until I put it back together. Just as I was putting on my crank arms, I discovered that the axle, there's like a little bit of play this way. So I don't know if that's from, I think that's the thrust bearings in the BBSHD. If there's play in the axle, lateral play in the axle, I think it's the thrust bearings. And it's just like $5 to fix those. Hey, look guys, there's the Windows XP background. Except it's the Wisconsin edition. It's Wisconsin edition. Man, the sun feels good. It was cold for a while. It was a bummer, boys. Like, at first I crashed and then I couldn't go mountain biking. But then, like, all of my bikes started breaking down. And so this one, I don't know, I think I told you about this one. The phase wires melted, or one of them did. But it was like, it was bad news because what happened was it was on my wiring harness, and there's like 3 phase wires all next to each other, and one of them was burnt to a crisp, and like the insulation on the wire melted, and it was not good. I made it about this far one day, like right down this way. That's about as far as I got on my previous attempt to come out here, before the phase wire apparently melted, and then the melted phase, well, it was actually, I think what happened, this is my theory right here, this is my theory, is that the crimp on the connector was bad, because that's where it seems the most crispy, right? And I think that the wire was able to kind of like move inside of the crimped connector, so it's probably like arcing and sparking, and like any little vibration while there was current going through that phase wire and that bad crimp, it was like arcing if there's vibrations and stuff. And so the connector itself was getting hot from that, from the arcing and the vibrations. So it's kind of like a slow burn, like every time there would be a vibration, you know, in the phase wire, a little bit of spark, a little bit of heat, burning away the connector, the resistance keeps increasing, and it kind of just slowly gets worse and worse and worse, until you know, until problems happen. I'm still very sketched out. I'm still very sketched out, because if anything goes wrong, it is a nice day. I could probably walk back or ride back, but I mean, last time I came this way, I'll show you how far I got, and I had to pedal all the way back, which I did, by the way. So I don't want to hear it, all you people in the comments telling me that I can't pedal my bike, because I do when it breaks down all the time. Look over there, bubbies. So I think why the phase wire melted also is because I've been using the BBSHD on lower voltage just to go around, because when I'm traveling and I'm not filming, I don't care about going fast. Like, I'll just go 20. I don't really care. But I was turning on field weakening with the BBSHD when I was on the lower voltage. And so when you're on lower voltage, it takes more current to achieve the same power levels, right? So if you're on 48 volts, 30 amps is 48 times 30 watts, whatever that is, like 1500 or something. But when you're on 72 volts, you don't need as many amps to get 1500 watts, right? So you can, and it's the current, it's the amps, is what kind of generates heat. So by going on higher voltage, you're not using as much current to achieve the same power levels, and there's less heat. So it can be more efficient. And so my mistake was I was experimenting with field weakening when I was on lower voltage, but I think I maybe pushed it a little bit too much, and I was probably, so on my wiring harness, and I remember back when I made my wiring harness with a 1019 connector, Like the phase wires in it, I don't think they're quite 10 gauge like the BBSHD and the flip ski. And so I think what happened was the wires in my wiring harness were probably like 11 gauge or something, you know, like not quite 10, but I think it's more than 12. But anyway, so my wiring harness, the wires were not quite thick enough. I think there was like some heat happening in the wiring harness when I was doing continuous kind of like elevated amps on 48 volts and 52 volts. I think the wires were getting hot or something, I don't know. But so far we're still going. And then I want to check something here. Oh, let's see here. Oh no, we're still good. I mounted my BBSHD on my bike a little bit differently. So previously I was using a stabilizer bar, and I was not using the Bafang, like you know, the kind of like the plate where you mount the motor with. It's like it's got two little bolt holes, and then it's got the big hole for like the bottom bracket spindle of the BBSHD to go through. But yeah, so I wasn't using that stock mounting plate. I was just using a stabilizer bar. But the stabilizer bar, you like, it's like a big torque arm that, like, I have it bolted to my seat tube. So that thing helps prevent the BBSHD from spinning around. I was just using a stabilizer bar, but it's made of aluminum and it's a little bit thinner than like the stock mounting plate. So now I'm using both of them. Using both of them. I had to point to the right to signal to that lady I was making a right turn, like, for like 15 seconds there. That was crazy. Alright, we're almost there. We're still going. Like, I'm just happy we're still going. That's all I care about. Because the last few times, man, that was a bummer. Like, we've been having this really warm weather lately, which doesn't usually happen in October, so I just kept riding, but my bike was in like shambles. It was in a derelict state of disarray. And then it kept falling apart, and like things were going wrong, and then the wires melted, and it was just like a big disaster for a while, and I've just been frantically trying to fix it. I also got the flip ski in a box now, and it should be a lot better because I don't have crazy wires all over the place. That was another problem, was my flip ski, like the wires were all over the place, out of control, and it was ruining my life. It was causing me a lot of problems because when the wires, and I thought there might be something wrong with my flip ski, the controller, but I think it was like there was strain on the wires that were kind of like tugging on it somewhere, and it was causing some problems. So I put the flip ski in a box now, and it's protected and mounted securely, so it shouldn't move. The BBSHD gets up to about 50C when I'm just going max RPMs in this gearing. It gets a little bit warm. I could use one more. I could use. Sometimes I wish I just had like one more gear that I could use on 48 volts. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't need a whole lot of gears with the BBSHD. I just like it low geared. I think Brett sent me a question about it, but when you're on 48 volts with the BBSHD and you're like shifting through gears and stuff, when you get into that high gear with like 11 teeth, like the smallest cog on your rear gears, my bike, it used to kind of like always skip when you're just on like a 11 tooth. Man, I can tell I'm gonna have to take it easy out at this place because my arm is still not 100%. I gotta be careful. But yeah, when you're in an 11 tooth rear sprocket on the BBSHD, like, it's not good for the motor, and it also tends to cause the chain to skip on that little 11 tooth sprocket, because at any point it's only holding on to a few teeth. And so, especially on my fat bike, I used to wear through that 7th gear, that small 11T sprocket on cassettes so fast, like you could just wear through it real quick. It was nuts. We're almost there, puppies. And we're still going. So I'm hoping that my 72 volt battery's charged. I'm probably gonna have to put another battery in the GoPro because we've been going for a while here. I guess we still have some. So far so good. Everything seems to be in order. So I'm just gonna take it very easy out here today. I've not been out here since, man, it's probably been like October 7th or something, like October 6th, 7th, 8th, I don't know, somewhere around there. And so it's like 12 days later. It's almost been 2 weeks, man, since I've been out here. It's just crazy. Like, and there were multiple attempts, where I rode my bike out here and then something happened and I got so worked up. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I got so worked up. Okay, so we got here. So we're at 50.4 volts. We went 8 miles. I used 3.9 amp hours out of this battery. So let's, in my pocket, I have a 72 volt buddy that we can pop in. So let's see here. All right, so let's unplug this one right here. Okay, and then let's plug it out. Those Chesters, man, they're eating my shins. Now let's plug in this one right here, and hopefully this is long enough to reach down here without problems. Okay, so we are on 84.5 volts now, bubbies. Yes, so let's switch over to battery A. 74 volts, 12 amp hours. That's interesting how it says 74 volts. Let's see here. What do we got here? So we're on 20 cells, 12 amp hours, 50 volt cutoff. Okay, so I have it set to 30 amps still. Let's see here. We gotta go into the flip ski. We gotta go into the flip ski now, boys. So don't use field weakening. If you're on 48 volts or 52 volts with a BBSHD, like, I would not use very much. There we go. All right. So let's go to, well, I don't even know that we need to, I don't know that we even need field weakening. Let's just see how it's going. Let's go onto the field weakening. Let's turn on some field weakening here. All right. Just see how it's going. Oh yeah, so another problem that I was having was my battery. Oh my goodness, boys. My battery, like, there's so many times, and this was part of the problem. It wasn't just my bike breaking down, but like everything, everywhere was breaking down. My battery was breaking down. Ooh, the Flipski's getting a little warmer in that box. Interesting. All right, so we've got 40 field weakening on. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's see how the BBSHD is getting along. Okay, so I'll show you. I can show you now. So look at this situation down here, guys. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but like, we've got three. Oh, look at that caterpillar. We've got 3 crazy phase wires on there. 8-gauge marine grade tinned copper. 8-gauge phase wires. They're a little bit long. I left them a little bit long, and they're still going through some crimpers right here up to the Flipski. But at least I can see them. At least I can see what's going on with those damn things. Right? So I don't have any crimper connectors inside of here. I just soldered these phase wires straight in there. And then I made them really long, and I got some crimpers right here so I can see the crimpers. And then, so yeah, my dang battery was having problems too, and I had to spot weld the thing back together like a number of times. So let's see. I think I want to go into the Flipski and turn the battery amps up a little bit, because I think I had that toned down. I think we had that toned down. So let's go into general current. We've got the battery current. I made it 55 amps on the battery current. And then so let's go into my cycle analyst. Battery. Oh, we gotta go into the power, right? Power. Let's make it 55. Get out of here, bugs. All right. So let's see how we're doing here, because okay. All right. Oh, let's see here. What are we on? We gotta turn up the power on the cycle analyst here. There we go. Oh yeah, I think. So what about that voltage sag? Let's see. All right, well, we're going. I'm going. This is it. I don't know. This is all we got. This is the last chance. So we're going right now. What do we got here on the GoPro? Are we going? 31%. I should really start the GoPro. All right, guys, we're going again. We got the screen recording going. All right, guys, here we go. Here we go. The GoPro should be facing the right direction. It should be going. We should be all good. Oh. This is it. The sun's going down. This is all we got. This is the only time we can go right now. There's a car behind me. Scaring me. How fast are we going here? 25. still feels weakening. I wonder how dark it's gonna be in here. We'll have to see, bubbies. I'm just crossing my fingers for good fortune today. Oh, something does feel a little bit better. I don't know what. Oh, leaves out here. Oh man. I haven't been out here for 2 weeks. It's been a while. Oh. So something is rattling. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I wonder, what is that? I think it's one of my cables hitting the front fork. I don't know, guys. This is it. Like, this is the only chance to go. And I've been working towards this for days. So, sorry about the noises. There might be something inside of my little flip ski case. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it on the road again. Okay, we are gonna try and fix this. Look at these trees out here. Oh my goodness. It is a scene out here. What is that rattling? That is... I think it might be my battery cable. I don't know. It could also be the front of the bike. It could also be my this thing. Let's see if I can get this under there. Maybe. All right. Well, this is the last chance that we have, guys, to be out here. So I just want to rip around. Hey, look at that skull up there. That's cool. That's cool. The bike's feeling good. It's making some noises, but I'm gonna try not to let those distract me. I wasn't sure how my shoulder is gonna feel going over all these bumps out here like this, but it seems fine as long as I don't crash on it again. Oh. I don't know that I'm gonna be doing any big crazy drops or jumps, but I'm just happy to be rolling around. Oh, oh, all right. The main thing is I want to make sure that the phase wires are working, and I totally rewired my flip ski. Man, that was a pain. Wiring the flip ski. I gotta be careful on all these leaves with the rear tire that I'm using. I don't think they're wet. It's not very wet out. Look at all the colors out here, boys. Wow. Ooh. So right now I'm just using the motor detection results in VESC. I didn't change the settings at all yet. I just did motor detection and turned on MTPA and changed most of the things, except I use the motor setup results. Look at this. This looks totally different. Now that all the leaves are gone and the foliage is getting out of here. Looks a lot different. Feels good to be back out here. I feel like I'm a changed person after all those problems and crashing. That was a bummer. Especially if I crashed and I hurt my shoulder and then I couldn't ride my bike. Couldn't ride my bike for several days and I had to drive a car. That was kind of a bummer. Because usually I always ride my bike. So, I don't know. When you're living the bike life, it might not be worth going off of jumps and injuring yourself. Because if you're injured, you can't live the bike life. It's very scenic out here. I'm glad I made it back out here today. I'm thanking the big guy upstairs for his involvement in making today happen. Because when my phase wires shorted out, I don't think I mentioned this, but like on my wiring harness, one of the wires melted, and then it melted and shorted. It like melted into another phase wire, and then there was like some funny things happening, and I thought that I might have messed up. I thought that I might have messed up the motor, But that was actually, so the reason that the phase wires melted is because of that bad crimp and all of the heat that was happening from that bad crimp. So that caused the phase wire to get really hot, and then the phase wire melted into another phase wire, and it wasn't good. And so sometimes when things melt and short out into other things, you can wreck electronics. Like if wires in the motor, if the phase wires short out at all and the electricity starts going where it's not supposed to, it can sometimes damage the controller or whatever, you know, it can damage other things. And it was really weird because it would only happen once in a while. I don't know if it was like the wire jiggling around from vibrations. Like there were probably so many factors in like what was happening. Even after I took it apart, it's just like trying to like solve some kind of like mystery as to what happened. So I think that the wires shorted out in such a way where they just kind of melted, and I still can't believe that I was still going. Like, I must have been going on 2 phases or something. I don't know. Like, that connector was like black. It was totally melted, and it smelled. That's like the worst smelling thing that I've ever smelled, and it's crazy because it's just like this little tiny 1.5 inch of wire, but it's this little tiny object, but it smells absolutely terrible. Like it just stinks up the whole garage. That's how bad it smells. And the whole inside of my motor smells terrible. Oh boy. Fuck. Are you kidding me? I'm out in the I'm out in the woods. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, so I've been having a lot of problems lately, and this is gonna be another one of them right here potentially. Let's see what has happened here. Is it my battery that we're having problems with? So let's see here. Is this thing on? This battery, is that on? Oh, there we go. Man, well, okay, well, I have been having problems with this 72 volt battery as well. Like, my damn, that is a bummer, huh? Let's see here, let's disconnect this. Thank God it's not something to do with my bike. Like, oh, interesting. What is going on here? That is crazy, man. So I wonder if something's wrong with this thing. I did just resolder this thing. I've changed so many things on my bike that it is like, I don't know what's going on with anything, guys. And this is the Hail Mary right here. We're out here. So we're gonna keep a positive vibe throughout this. I'm hoping that I can just get through here. And if it's a problem with my battery, it's a problem with my battery. I don't care about that. I fixed my battery so many times now. I am like a battery fixing expert. However, like, let's just keep it moving here. So my wire is slightly shorter now. I don't think I can really, we're gonna have to take it really easy. We're just gonna go slow today, boys. I don't think I can really like stand up very far. Now that this wire is like this short. Which is kind of a problem. I don't know, guys. I guess it says the camera was getting too hot at some point. So GoPro. Alright, here we are. So turn that way down. Okay. So yeah, we're out here. We're filming again. My battery is still working. If something stops working right now, puppies, there are so many things that it could be that, like, it's just unbelievable that we're even still rolling along here. I think the best feeling, the best part about all of it was finally getting my flip ski contained inside of something where it's not such a disaster. My flip ski was an unmitigated disaster like this whole year. And it was like, I feel like I'm finally getting back to being on the road again here. I'm also getting my other bike, the fat bike, the dual hub bike, that frame where I had the front motor on it and then the frame cracked. Like the frame, it cracked on the down tube right below the weld to the head tube. That's where my frame had like a big crack in it, all like halfway. Oh. The crack was like halfway around the tubing. It was crazy. I wish my wire was a little bit longer so I could stand up. I don't know if I'm going in the 8th hanger. Oh. Could be anything. So I gotta ask Santa Claus for a better spot welder. Gotta save up for one. It's hard to spend $500 on a tool that you're just like, you use like once or twice to build a couple batteries, and then like, I don't really want to like build batteries for other people. That seems like a lot of risk and liability. Like, so I mean, I just build batteries for myself. So it's like, I was reluctant to buy like an expensive professional grade spot welder, but when you're making e-bike batteries with high discharge cells, that's kind of what you need to do. Is you need a good spot welder, because to be able to weld the type of metals that you need and the thicknesses that you need to do the amount of current that you want, you need a pretty good spot welder, especially to build a small high discharge battery when you don't have as many cells in parallel and like more nickel strips and stuff. Like when I had a 20S 5P battery and it had 5 parallel, you know, and then there were a lot more series connections on the battery, cell to cell series connections. You don't need as thick of nickel strips, just because you have like twice as many nickel strips. But I found that when you build a 20S 3P and you don't have as many series connections and there's not as much nickel, you have to do more. Like you have to stack more nickel strips on there, or just get some copper on there or something. And my spot welder, like it can go through one layer of nickel strips at a time, but it's, I don't know, when you start stacking layers of nickel strips, it seems like it doesn't work as good. There's some kind of a miracle that I'm even still going here. It feels good to get my arm out here, because I haven't been doing anything with that, man. Look at these trees, bubbies. Is my GoPro going? I really need my GoPro to be going right now. Are you going? Yes, GoPro. I love you. I'm not sure when it overheated earlier, so I hope it's not too dark though. I think we still got some light. Oh. I think we're gonna take the green arrow, the joyride. I don't know if I'm going on North Berm right now. Really gotta stand up on that one. Oh, hell shite. On the bridge. With the Chesters. The race face Chesters. Look at that tree. That looks sketchy. Ooh. When I crashed, that really set me back here. We're like rolling around like a newbie again. Oh. We're back on level 1. What do you guys think they build these berms out of? Is that clay? Look at all those colors, boys. Wow. Oh. My arm's getting kind of tired. Oh. Man, I got lucky when I crashed that one day when I did the Angry Bird crash. Oh man. How lucky that I didn't get hurt more. Look at this, boys. So how are we going here? We're at 79.2, 48.6 C, 12.8 miles. I only used a couple amp hours, I think, out of the, man, it's only 5:30. I only used a couple amp hours out of this battery, I think. Let's see here. Or does it keep track per battery? Let's switch. Oh, I switched back to this one. Does it? No. It seems like the amp hours is a rolling total, even when I switch batteries. So I use like 4 amp hours to get here. So I've only used like a couple out of this. The 72-volt battery. We're still cruising, boys. It's 5:30. Let's see here. I don't know. I wish I had a multimeter on me. I want to check that. I want to see if this thing was the problem. It probably was. It looks pretty sketchy. Oh my god. Let's see here. So, like, when you're doing e-bike things, you can't rush any of it. It's a bad idea to rush any of it. Alright, I think we can go back this way a little bit. My phone, man, my phone is like getting low, little bubbies. We gotta... Well, let's see, what kind of deals they got at McDonald's? We gotta see what kind of deals they got. Because McDonald's, I don't know, they're like going out of business or something. Like, they never have any deals anymore. And it's just a huge bummer. Oh, I have points. Man, I have points. So what do we got here? We got the 129 any size fry. Alright. We can do that. They changed it from $1 any size fry to $1.29. That was a big, huge bummer. That is a sign of the end times. Bubbies. Alright. Before, are you still going? Are you overheated? How hot is it out here? That's a... Whoa, 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 whoa. Man, my backpack battery just keeps... It is actually like a feature that my backpack battery... Oh my god. That my backpack battery just disconnects at the first sign of problems. No, we're not doing that again. Man, sometimes I wish I had a kickstand, but... If your kickstand comes down when you're riding around violently, that can be bad. It can be dangerous. Okay, let's turn this thing off while I get my backpack back on here. Holy buckets. Ugh. Okay, backpack battery needs, the wire needs to be longer. Roger that. And what I really need to do with the backpack battery is get it set up in such a way where the wire like is behind me, out of the way, coming down out of my backpack, and then maybe like ties to the back of my, I don't know, ties somewhere, like out of my way. I gotta make that change. Oh. There are some advantages to the backpack battery that I found, but you can't have a big heavy one. And it has to be high discharge. But, oh, man, I better not be doing any crazy features right now. But if you have a backpack battery that's lightweight, that makes your bike lighter. Like if you don't have a battery on your bike, and the weight of the battery is just in your backpack, it makes your bike lighter, which could be an advantage if you do want to jump. Because the heavier your bike is, the harder it is to kind of like jump well. Oh. Getting distracted here. Oh. I'm just gonna keep rolling this way towards McDonald's, because that's where I'm going, bubbies. I also want to see how this battery's doing. Like we gotta see how many amps that thing is doing here. There's like a bug on my knee. That felt so weird. Oh. I think I increased the tension on my front fork when I was working on my bike, and it like, I need to undo that a little bit. Suspension seatbelt. No boy, Flipski's getting all jostled here. Cockeyed. What's going on here? I guess it's probably my backpack wire tugging on it. Oh. Yeah, I'll go this way. Going on a haymaker. Well guys, if we can get through this, and the worst thing that happens is my wire gets disconnected because it's too short, whatever. It's workable. Oh. Alright, I think I'm about done. That's about it. Oh. Let's turn some field beaconing on here. Alright, well that was fun. GoPro, you still going, buddy? Yeah? Nice. So, oh. Let's go out on the street where it's a little bit smoother. Alright, we're going this way, puppies. This is the way. Man, that felt a little bit weird. I wonder what was going on with that. I think we gotta do a little bit of motor tuning. Oh. We gotta do a little bit of motor tuning to get it to smooth out a little bit. Man, that front brake sounds terrible out on the road. Look at that cliff face right there. Uh-oh. GoPro, you're just hanging there. The shoulder mount came loose. You guys are just like hanging. The shoulder mount isn't even going anymore. This looks like it's under construction. Oh. Man, this is like a mountain biking course out here. I wish I could just rip through that. My wire's too short. We're still going though, puppies. Can I go on the street yet? Those cars out of here? There we go. Holy buckets. We are almost there, puppies. Conveniently located by the mountain biking place. Feeling pretty good about things right now, bubbies. Things are looking up. And the only thing that's not looking up is a GoPro battery. It's almost dead.
Alright, this GoPro's got 30%. We can get a while on that. Oh, alright, here we go, bubbies. Put this big old McDonald's bag somewhere. Where's this thing going? It's going in my pocket. There we go. Oh, let's go, motor. Here we go. Oh. Now we're cruising. Man, what was that on the street back there? That was like a paint spill. Or like, I don't know what that was. Man, I gotta fix my front wheel, boys. It is cooling down. Goodness sakes. I could use some joggers right about now. And a spoke wrench. I think there's like this big wire cable railing that divides this divided highway. Or else I would just go across it right there and that would be shorter, I think. But I don't really want to have to lift up. It looks like someone crashed into it right there. I could probably skip over it. But look at that big streak in the sky, boys. What's going on over there? Guy back there looks a little Grumpenheimer, a little grumpy. I'm just like barely holding my front brake so that I don't have to listen to it. It's kind of annoying. I don't know what is going on exactly. Doesn't seem to be slowing me down at all. Man, something... What is that noise? Oh boy. Everything's still holding together here? Man, this isn't a crazy Hail Mary ride out here. But we made it. We did it. Successfully. Man, I've been trying to do that for so long. And it was like the universe was conspiring against me. feeling pretty good. The motor and the bike and the battery. I need a better spot welder, that's for sure. Really, I mean, I need like a whole setup, all of my soldering stuff, and tools are like not the best. Oh. I changed the motor settings back at McDonald's. You guys are also probably still bouncing around because I haven't fixed the shoulder strap. But we're just cruising along. The sun is getting low. It's getting low in the sky back there. What time is it? It's 6 o'clock. Yeah. It's getting there, bubbies. This fall has been a good one. It's been a good fall, that's for sure. It's like lasted forever. That's how fall should be. I don't know if that's good or not, though. I don't know what's going on with that. But it was a good ride. I'm feeling good about that. Now I need to fix my front wheel. Yeah, so spot welder is definitely something I'm saving up for. But right now I am just thanking the big guy upstairs, though. We made it off a ride. The bike is operational. The 8-gauge phase wires are working nicely. And so now I think the bike problem, other than tidying up some wires and figuring out my backpack wire, I think the bike is back in order. Except for my front wheel, but that's not a problem. Been a good ride though, finally. We did it. Man, there were a couple times where my bike was like malfunctioning, where like I don't know what was going on, like the throttle line shorted out to something, or I don't know what happened, but like There were a couple times where like my flip ski just went like full throttle as my bike was malfunctioning, and it was fucking crazy. Like oh man. There's a scene over that way. I don't know if we can turn the GoPro enough to see it, but it's a scene over there, boys. The sun, as well as the wispiness of the sky over that field of whatever that is. That field got mowed down, but the one to the left didn't. It is cooling down. Like I'm very thankful to shout out to the big guy upstairs for making this ride a success. I can see the water. There's a big Verizon tower from here radiating down the 5G, and I am in good spirits with a large fry in my belly as we rip back on the 72 volt battery, which is getting lower, but it's still moving. We're still getting around. That front wheel needs help. I'm gonna fix that tonight. I am gonna fix that. I can see it as I'm looking down at the front wheel. There's a lateral deviation, and it's making my brake rotor very noisy. It's probably from when I crashed my bike. Or else like I don't know, is my front brake, well, it's still got pads on there. I don't know, it's wacky. Motor's getting a little warm. I've got the temperature threshold set to 60 because when it starts to get hot like that, it can just spike like crazy. So you gotta be careful. Because it spiked, what did it do, like 2 degrees above 60 there? That's at 61. We're going to be going downhill in a moment. This is a large hill where I did heat fuel weakening, so it was inefficient. Man, I am chilly now. Like, it was 80 degrees earlier, but now it's got to be like... Oh man, it's gotta be. Oh, it felt really warm right there. On top, what was the deal with that? That was so weird. There's these random patches where it just feels really warm. I greased up the BBSHD and it seemed like I didn't think it was gonna make it quieter, but it did a lot. Like it made it way quieter. When I put more grease in it, that helped a lot. That was one of the first things I noticed when I put everything back together. So we can see those same streaks in the sky that we saw all the way over in River Falls. Well, hey everybody, thanks for watching. The GoPro battery's gone dead. I gotta do the outro, but I mean, we made it back.